Good morning to all of you. Welcome to Namaste. And I'm excited today because I'm going to experience something, and I'm going to invite you to experience this with me. Uh, Something that you feel and you wonder, well, does that make any sense? And no, it doesn't. It doesn't really make sense. But when you feel that energy just swelling up inside, saying, "I know it doesn't make sense, but just trust me on this. Follow me into this." That's when you know there's something really cool happening. And what this is I'm going to tell you a story that I actually heard a nun tell in a video last night. By the way, I have, you're going to laugh at this, especially Vicky. I made the decision that the only thing I can watch on YouTube while I'm here in my anchor hold are stories about nuns and monks because they make me happy. I enjoy them. And otherwise, I'll tell you what happens. I get sucked in, and I'm watching one of two things when I'm just on my own watching whatever I want on YouTube. I'm watching old clips from the U.S. office, not the British office, but the U.S. office. Or, and this is when it gets really ugly, I get pulled into all the political stuff. So I had to make a rule. No, you can only, if you're going to do anything, you're better off keeping it off. But if you're going to do anything, you need to only watch things that are about holy topics. And lately, that's just been stories told by nuns and monks. It could expand past that, but that's what it is for right now. And in particular, last night I was listening to this beautiful lecture given by this very young, very lovely sister. It was at a conference. I'm not sure what the conference is, but let me tell you the story. So the inspiration was tell this story, but I want to give a backdrop to it. And I don't even know how these relate. This is where I'm having to trust. I don't even know how this story relates to a quote from A Course in Miracles that actually Teddy shared with us the other day. And this quote has been staying with me. It's been a quote that I've always loved, but and it makes so much sense, though it makes no sense at all. I feel within me the true sense of what this is really all about, even though logically it makes no sense at all. So here's the line. I actually pulled it up. uh, Protect all things you value by the act of giving them away, and then you are sure that you will never lose them. One more time. Protect all things of value by the act of giving them away, and then you are sure to never lose them. Once again, this makes total sense inside me, and I'm sure that there's something within you that feels this. Yeah, protect what I truly value, protect what has total value by giving it away. It all depends upon the angle from which you look at it. If you're looking at it from the inside out, it makes total sense. If you're looking at it from the inside in, it makes no sense. Now, that's where we're going to begin. And this story somehow relates to it, but I don't know how. The story that I heard from this nun, I just got this feeling of this relates. These connect somehow. Ravi, Ravi, you just unmuted yourself. We got to mute you. That was loud. Where'd it go? Hold on, everybody. Okay, there we go. So once again, I'm going to share. I shared the quote already. Now let's hear the story, and we can see how these things relate. You can tell me. How's that? I'll just share it, and then we'll see where this takes us in our discussion. So here's the story that this nun told. It was about a young woman in San Francisco. And for one reason or another, she had decided she was going to end her life. And so she climbed to way high on the Golden Gate Bridge. And she was there ready to jump. And this was going on for a long time. The rescue people came. They were trying to get talking to her, trying to get her down. She would not come. So there was a priest that the rescue team sometimes works with. And so the priest was called in. He could also be a minister, a rabbi. He could be an imam. It doesn't. We'll just say he's a Franciscan, okay, for my sake. And so this Franciscan priest is brought in, and he's very small, and they tell him this woman is here, and she's going to jump. We've tried everything, but it hasn't worked, and so we really want you to talk to her. He says, okay. Now, what they don't know is that he is deathly afraid of heights. He's terrified. Just to be on the bridge is terrifying to him. But now he's going to have to climb up on these steel things and try and get up there at least close to her so he can talk to her and see what can be done. So he takes a deep breath and he decides just to go into his fear and just go into the moment. And he begins to climb, and sweat is pouring off his whole body. He's drenched because he's so scared. And here's this young woman up on top of the bridge. And she sees this. She sees this priest, this man, coming up, and she can see that he's terrified. She can see that he's even more afraid than she is. And so she's up there and she starts to yell down at him, "Come on, you can do it. Come on. Just take one step at a time. I'm here for you. Come on, just keep your eyes focused on me. Listen to my voice and just relax. You can do it." And the priest takes a deep breath and says, okay. Okay, so he listens to her voice. Her voice becomes the guide. It becomes the way that he keeps his composure, and step by step he finally gets, and she reaches down and he takes her hand and she pulls him up, and finally he's sitting there next to her. And she says, "You did a good job. You did great." And then the priest looks at her and says, "But how am I going to get down?" And she says, "I'll go first. You just follow me." And so the woman begins to slowly make her way down, watching him the whole way, helping him to place his feet, encouraging him, seeing that he's so afraid, but she's there with him the whole time until they finally get to the bottom. And everyone is around them. And the priest screams out, "She saved my life." Now, once again, I haven't spent any time just seeing how these two relate, the quote and this story. But I know they do, and I thought this would be a great thing just to bring to our family. But before we do, let me read the quote again, and maybe just a little bit more from that lesson, which is lesson 187. Okay? So let's listen to this one more time, and then think about this in relation to the story that you just heard. Protect all things you value by the act of giving them away, and you are sure that you will never lose them. What you thought you did not have is thereby proven to be yours. But, and here's the important thing, value not its form. For this will change and grow unrecognizable in time, however much you try to keep it safe. No form can endure. It is the thought behind the form of things that lives forever unchanged. So give gladly. You can only gain thereby. You can only gain by giving it away. So I'm going to go ahead. We'll start with Vicky. Vicky and Teddy, I would love to just have you both begin. And now that you know the story, which I'm not really sure how they connect, but I'm sure you're going to be able to help us fall right into that. So go right ahead.
Oh, I love it, Jimmy. I love it. And so, of course, whatever we always value and want is love. It's really simple. And the only way we keep it is to help and to love. And we can trust the form because form follows thought. So if the content is love, the form will always be a variation of love. Just like that's why living in the present is so important, because with under the ego system, we follow the past. We don't follow love, we follow what we think we learned in the past. And if we stay in the present, we recognize that natural giving of who we are. Our natural Christ energy is to give forth. It's to welcome. It's to give and bless and love. And when we stay present, we are immediately, and sometimes we get present in surprising ways, in shock, in desperation, in surprise. But whatever gets us present, I've noticed the immediate next experience is to give forth in love and welcome and care for. And in fact, Maria Montessori, who started the Montessori schools, she had a spiritual experience before she started those schools. She was a doctor that was an outcast in France, one of the first women doctors. And she found that as children helped one another and not use their abilities or their past definition of who they were, what age or what abilities they had, that in the present, if they disregarded everything except present joining, they helped one another and their learning superseded normal learning. And she started with handicapped children, mentally, challenged kids, and it became a method that I had my son go to, and that's all across the world now.
Hmm.
And it was based on this, that when we're present, the only value we have is ourselves to love and help. And that's all. And that's what kids do naturally. They meet a kid, you can go to anywhere with 100 people, and a kid sees another kid, and immediately, let's go play. They wrap around their arms around each other because they want to give of themselves and they love and join. And it's simple, not complicated. So if we stay out of any kind of past, we stay in a present open state, which is a natural state of love. And love gives of itself. There's just no two ways about it. That's what love does, I
So,
guess.
so the woman who was on the bridge,
Yeah,
she was living in the past, whatever her past pain was, whatever her
right,
aspiration was, and she couldn't see past that, and so that's why she climbed up. But it was when she had to be of service and love in the present moment. This other man who was so afraid, who was actually climbing up to help her. This is what opened and allowed her to give away, and then to keep her own life by saving his.
right,
I'm
Well, that
excited
was
to see how they come together. Go ahead, Teddy.
what she was valuing in the instant was her ability to kill herself. And she gave that away by showing that life was valuable. And that's why she wanted to kill herself. So she saved the life of the priest because of the value of life. And she gave away what she wanted in order to save his life, proving that the life is what's valuable, not killing herself or being alive. I mean, that's what she was valuing. She was valuing killing herself, and she gave that away to save his life.
Yeah, I'm beginning to see how they come together. It's beautiful. I was excited by this, by the unknowing of this experience of turning this over and not knowing the connect, not having to figure the connection out in advance, letting it just rest in the moment,
You
feeling
can
like,
feel
yeah,
it. You can feel it more than understand it intellectually, but you
Exactly.
can feel it.
Exactly. I felt it. I didn't get it, and it's like, but I trusted. I knew that it was going to happen. All right. Thank you. Baraka, I see your hand, but first, I think I saw, there's Christina. Yes, I thought I saw Christina come in the room. So let's go to Christina, and then we're going to go to Baraka. Good morning, Christina.
Good morning. Hello, everyone. Such a powerful story for this time that we're in right here, right now. I don't know if there's ever been a time on the planet where the entire human race has been given such a powerful opportunity to really question and come into full recognition of what we really value individually, collectively, and I love how one consciousness might perceive the words of the quote that you shared as things, stuff. And another consciousness might see the value as the unspoken things, the formless, and how Vicky really brought those together in we can always trust the form. If we are in our integrity and we are allowing ourselves to be, the love will always carry us and always we can trust the form. The story is beautiful in its representation of that itself, and how quickly, how in that holy instant, everything can change. And that's the message that I really heard in the story upon its initial sharing, is that no matter what thought we have this moment, no matter what drama we're caught in at any given time, it only takes one holy instant to shift the entire picture.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really a truth I sense is worth holding on to during this time for all of us. That regardless of the appearance of the form, we can totally trust it and know that everything is working itself out. And in each holy instant, transformation and perfection is in form.
Mm. Yeah. Beautiful. As you were talking, I was realizing this is not really about goods, but goodness.
Mm.
Yeah. The goods will take care of themselves. Seek not, the goods. Just share the goodness. Let that be the constant giving of the heart and soul, to share only goodness. And then, of course, more goodness comes always. And, and even the other things, everything else we need will always be given to us. Thank you,
The
Christine.
added, the added things.
That's right. Everything we need. It may not be what we think we want, but it's certainly what we need. Baraka, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jimmy. Good morning, everyone. Um, I have, having walked to that edge myself, like that woman on the bridge did, and also having walked out and actually been standing on the Golden Gate Bridge, I realized that the way the story goes, she doesn't have to climb up any part of the bridge. Being there, just there on the sidewalk of the bridge, is enough distance that if you want to jump, you're going to die. So the the climbing up was a call for love, but it turned out to be also a an opportunity for her to give love. She wanted to be rescued. Otherwise, she would not have climbed up there. She would have just climbed over the railing and jumped. And so to have taken that additional step of reaching a higher altitude at that point, she was waiting for someone to rescue her. And in that way, she was willing to give that away. Not the idea of her killing herself, but the idea that someone else could extend love to her in that place. She was offering that opportunity. She was a great teacher in that way, and a great teacher apparently to that holy person who climbed up after her. She was uh, she was acting her role in the act of giving away love, just as the priest was, or the monk, or whatever he was. And that combination displayed in front of all the other observers, the people who were concerned about her being up there on the bridge, was a great lesson to be taught. Now, I'm not saying that we need to climb up on the San Francisco Bay, the Golden Gate Bridge to teach love. There are many more efficient ways to do that. and what was I typed something out of the board. I can't remember what it was now. Oh, it has no value unless I can give it away.
I like that.
So by offering myself the ability to give love away, to extend it out, I am offering myself the ability to learn it and to value it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Baraka. It has no true value unless I'm able to give it away. If it's something just for me, if it's something that I'm just holding, protecting, guarding, there's no real value there. What she gave away was literally her life. She thought she was going to end her life, but she actually gave her life, and in doing so saved it. In helping this priest save his life, she gave that which she thought she was getting ready to throw away. It's such a beautiful story, and it just keeps coming back to that same quote. Let me read it one more time. Protect all things you value by the act of giving them away, and then you are sure that you will never lose them.